time to kick the tires and light the fires. The Bo Carver Show is on the air. The Monkey Crew is in place. And here's your head firemaster, Big Wheels, Bo Carver.
Yes. The fire. Could they said firemaster. Could you then call me the fireman?
No.
And I could cut into that song.
Father.
Just
You
call
don't
me
deserve that
fireman.
title.
Your
That's
ego
my
is
name.
10 times what it should be right now. Just take what you have and run with it, okay?
Boy.
You don't deserve that title as a fireman.
Well, I just said.
Do you put fires out?
Well, sure I do.
Would
That
you
would be-
run into a fire building and save a
that
building?
would-
I do
No, of
every
course not.
Sunday at noon. I
That
put
would be an
fires
insult
out.
to anyone who has ever put out even a flame in their life.
Graham, we have, as a matter of
Yeah,
fact.
I lit our whole backyard on fire, but that was all you.
It was
had
all,
nothing
yeah,
to-
your dad was panicked. I got a fire extinguisher. He's trying to get the hose. Fire extinguisher is a little more portable.
Yeah, that our whole place would have burned down the time I found a hose. When I started calling for hose, all the neighbors came out.
So did your wife. This is a Sunday show, remember?
All right, family show. Let's keep it family orientated.
Okay, well, y'all took it there. I didn't say
I always
that.
You
talk
literally
about her.
said hose and
Yeah,
referred
but I
to
said
our
I need a
neighbors as hose.
hose, and I think people are going to help with that. But all the women came out.
Ha, 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 ha.
Well, I hate to talk about our neighbors, but yeah,
All
we
right.
do have hosts. in the neighborhood.
Welcome to today's show, the Sunday before our Independence Day, July 4th.
Woo, woo.
And we're excited about the show today. We've got a we actually got two special guests in the house.
I know. I'm so excited.
And we are here every Sunday from noon to basically 1 p.m. And we just talk about a lot of different things from A to Z. This is the Wheels of Justice, and I am your host, Big Wheels Bo Carver, and I'm a field researcher for the Judge Judy Court TV show. And our co-host is always, I can say always now because you've actually made it about 2 weeks in a row. So
I just bring the grandbabies with me. Say hi, Ashlyn.
I don't
there
even
she
know her name
is
anymore.
right there. This is vacation time. It's hot time in the summer. And Barbie Ann Purple Haze,
I'm here.
she
I'm
is
here.
in the house. And Purple Haze is her wrestling name.
Oh, and I'm so excited for July 27th.
July 27th is the big shindig at the Driven Elite, which was formerly Game On in Denton, Texas. And it's with the Pride and Glory Professional Wrestling organization. And this is to raise money for the Marine Corps League number 1300
in Denton, Texas.
with Mark Roy and Ashton Jacobs.
And Magnificent Malico is going to be fighting against my favorite guy.
Well, there's
he's a newbie. Yep.
There's 6 matches. There's also a female
excited.
match, and it starts at 7 p.m. The doors open at 6, and there's a meet and greet.
Meet and greet at 6.
And
ring times at 7.
The fabulous, and when I say fabulous, I'm talking about fabulous.
If you're into
with
anime, you'll
all
know who we're saying.
capitals.
Yep.
Is Stephanie Nadolny will be singing the national anthem.
And she'll be there to sign autographs because she was the voice for whom?
She was what Graham fill us in on
She
that.
was the voice for Kid Goku and Gohan in Dragon Ball Z's English dub. So
There
it's
you go.
English variation.
So if you're an anime fan, come on out. She'll be there. She'll have a table. I think the biggest match is going to be the 2 ring announcers, Purple Haze and Big Will's Bow.
Okay, so by ring announcer, are you going to be introducing or commentating?
We're going to be like
actual
the,
fight?
you know,
We're going to
the,
be emceeing.
you know how they have
Don't compare. 'cause
the
I
rings
won't
and a
understand.
circus.
No, I don't.
Well,
You can't compare it because
It's
I have
going to
no
be a
life
circus, I
experience.
promise you that. And we will be the MC and ring announcers, Barbie Ann Purple Haze, and yours truly, Big Wheels Bo Carver. And that could get ugly.
But what does that entail? Are you commentating as the wrestler?
Do you know what that is? You saw us
We're going
last
to
night.
announce
So it'll
them,
be just what he did last
but
time, right?
and then we're going to be sitting at the table and we're going to be filming live, and we'll be have
There you
voices
go,
going there. Yeah,
you
so
go.
there's going to
That's
be
what I
more
was
going on
asking.
outside of the ring than in the ring. It's going to be kind of comical.
There's a lot of stuff happening, and that's July 27th. And you can get your tickets at eventbrite.com and then look for the Pride and Glory Professional Wrestling event.
Hey, I'll get Marvin in for free.
Yeah. Marvin
he can ring the bell.
Marvin may end up taking on about 6 of those wrestlers and taking them out.
He might.
And so that's what you want to do is go to eventbrite.com and then look for the Pride and Glory Professional Wrestling Show on July 27th. And the tickets are $10. That's all. $10.
Or a family pack.
You can get a family pack, which is 4 tickets for $30. And let me tell you, these matches are second to none. If you like, the entertainment is going to be great, and these guys and these women are so professional of
There's
what they do.
nothing fake about what they're doing.
They are awesome. And,
I have actually trained with them, and the flips and the hits and all that. It's all
Dude.
real, y'all. It's not fake. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says.
And so we want to invite you there. That's July 27th, and so don't forget about that. Also, co-host of the show today, who just came off of his recent visit with his girlfriend Sam.
Oh, yes.
Well,
he's
don't
blushing.
get too excited about all that.
Men don't
I hope
blush.
Sam's not listening.
Yeah, I am
Hope she's not listening.
physically and mentally mute. Yeah. So I just, I
Graham
don't have any emotion.
Knox, Mirabeau Carver,
Neither
co-host.
does your
Thank you.
dad, so now I know where he gets
Yeah,
it from.
I'm a hitman
No, your
of
phone
sorts.
keeps dinging.
I don't think it's my phone.
Well, it's going on the ear set, so it's definitely your phone.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be.
I thought that was a wrestling match. Ding.
I'm just excited
Ding.
about our guest.
Yes. And our guest today, what a super honor to have Danny Fain in the house, in the studio, who is
Finally.
yes, and he is involved with Hope Bridging. Tell me, Danny, I'm sorry.
You got
Bridge
this.
and Hope Ministries,
Yes,
right?
Bridge and Hope Ministries.
And they are an organization that spends every Sunday afternoon feeding their friends, mostly homeless. And we're here to talk about that today. And his sidekick,
May I introduce
yes, the sidekick.
the giraffe that once took on an entire Nazi battalion with just a spork, known as the giraffe from hell.
There he is.
We
Right
introduce
there is Marvin, set between
Marvin, the
me and
giraffe.
Danny. And you can find Marvin by just going to Facebook.com and then search Marvin.
Yeah.
Just search Marvin, and that's MARVIN, and that's a like page. And there's videos of Marvin with his actions.
Okay.
And I am probably the #1 fan of Marvin.
I don't
I
think so.
highly
You
doubt
got to
that.
fight me on that one.
And then you have me, who actually watched him take on.
It's
everyone with a
it's a
spork.
high honor to have Marvin in
is.
the house with us. And
He's a celebrity
He's
in
actually
Ponder,
physically
Texas.
higher than you two.
yes. And so you need to go to Facebook.com and then search Marvin and then like that page, because there's a lot of fun stuff that happens. He works hard during the day and he parties hard at night and just does all kinds of stuff. And you'll want to check those videos out because they are fantastic. And doing the video production of Marvin is always Danny Fain. What would you say? You're his
Sidekick.
sidekick.
Yeah, he's
You
my
can't be an
yeah.
owner anymore. So are you
No.
his governor?
No, he pretty much runs the show.
Yeah. So actually, Marvin is the owner of Danny.
That's
No,
right.
he's a governor. You're not allowed to say
Oh,
owner
that's right. We
anymore.
can't say owner
NBA
anymore.
says owner is
Yeah, that's
referring to
out.
slaves, so you have to be a governor
Yeah.
now.
Well, I mean,
We're getting rid of the word
Marvin,
owner.
Danny.
Well, I got 2 owners. I got Marvin and I got my wife.
And
I understand
speaking
that.
of your wife,
Jessica's
the lovely
in the house.
Jessica's here, keeping us in line for at least a couple minutes.
The beginning of
So,
our show.
She is a wonderful lady and married
questionable.
to Danny, which you deserve a special
I'm sure
place in
that's
heaven.
a handful, yes.
That's a special place in heaven waiting for you, I promise.
That's right. Yeah, she's getting a plaque on that one.
A huge one, a gold one. But thank y'all for joining us today here on the Wheels of Justice. And want to tell you about a couple other things before we get into the Bridge and Hope Ministries, what they do. Want to tell you about what's coming up on July the 20th. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And this is going to be at the where
It's
is
going to be at Stoker's Dallas, which is a biker's bar. It's at 9304 Harry Hines in Dallas, Texas.
and most everybody in Dallas probably knows where that is, especially if
Right.
you're a biker.
And if you're a biker, that's where they have the big things. But on July 20th, it says on June 21st.
David Maples, if you're tuning in, you might help us with this. It's for what this is for is to raise and help
supporting the families of the GBNF, the Jarheads Mick fundraiser for this. It's for
the 7
Marines,
that
yeah.
lost their lives from that young man that ran over
But
him.
what are they doing? They're on June 21st. Several families of the MC lost loved ones in an accident in New Hampshire while we were in Texas. Can't help much in person. We can help the families with donations to help them in their time of need. Several MCs here in the DFW area are working together to raise money for the families that lost their lives. Please join us at Strokers and make heartfelt donations to the families. They will be receiving 100% of the money collected on their behalf. That's July 20th at 2 p.m. at Stokers.
Go do that. That was a horrible incident that took place there. And this is the way that you can help. Go there and make a donation and show your support at 2 p.m. at Strokers in Dallas. So that's something that we want to support because we do love our veterans and love our military.
Hug a veteran.
And we definitely want to always keep that in mind. And before we get started, Mocha Coffee. Want to thank them for being a sponsor on the show. That's mokk-a.com. Go there, mokk-a.com. There's 5 different blends. There's ground and there's bean. And it's the best coffee in the world.
And that's what you're drinking right now, Danny.
So
I love it.
Father, what is your favorite type of?
Well,
mocha
it
coffee?
used to be Holland, but then Italia.
And I like France.
I like the French
France.
bean. I like the French bean.
We'll give you a sample, Danny, of some other ones, and you can taste them, and then you can give us your vote.
Well, talking about all this coffee right now is making me want a second cup.
Yeah, we'll have to get you one after the
another
show. But and we appreciate that, and we also want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in each Sunday, because without your love and care and support, we wouldn't have our show. And we appreciate that. And our shows are archived on Facebook.com/Bo Carver Show, which you're watching now. You can go there at any time on that timeline and catch our past shows.
We've got New York on. We've actually got Stephanie on right now.
Stephanie Nadalny's on. Hey, baby.
You've got Dorothy from New York. We've
Awesome.
got Karen on. Wow, we got
From
Danny
Holland.
Fain on. I
Danny
don't know what to say
Fain's in the
about that.
house,
He's
and
in
he's
the
on
house.
too.
Wow.
And so we appreciate that.
Thank
And,
you, Wesley, for listening as well. I know you went through surgery, and I hope everything's okay, and you'll go to rehab and get your legs back. So let us know what's
yes,
going on.
Wesley, brother, get well and start running track again real soon.
Yes.
The
He's one
veterans
of our
might
number
need
one
you to-
supporters.
Yes, he is. And Tsunami Digital Network, we want to thank them for being that powers these shows. Thank you very much. And I hope that's all the thanks.
I think we're good. Can we get into
We're
our guests
good.
now?
And
We're
Stephanie,
only 18
thanks for
minutes
tuning
into
in.
it.
Karen, thanks for tuning in. All of y'all, we appreciate that. So now we're going to talk about Danny Fain and the Bridge and Hope Ministries. Or do you want to talk about Marvin first? Which one?
Let's talk about the Bridge and Hope, and then we'll talk about Marvin. What do you think?
Okay, because he's a supporter of the Bridge and Hope
And we
Ministries
have tons
as well.
of things to give you for them. Well, they keep collecting our house, and we keep going. We got to get these. Danny, people keep donating clothes.
Yeah, we have a lot of clothes to
Yeah.
pass on. But so Bridge and Hope Ministries, tell us, Danny, how you got involved in that, what they're doing, and what your plans are for the Bridge and Hope Ministries.
Well, we started at the park in October 27th.
And you say the park, that is a park in Denton, Texas, and the park's name is what?
Quakertown Park
Quakertown Park, which is located where?
in Denton.
Is that on the corner of Denton Street and Denton Avenue?
Yeah, I think it's on.
Somewhere in
All you got to
Denton.
do is Google Quaker Park,
Yeah,
Denton,
Bell and-
Texas.
Quaker State Park.
Father, way to make an
Yeah.
introduction to a beautiful charity, just completely and utterly useless. I mean, wow. Like, you're trying to get specific coordinates. Do you want like a -104-28?
Well, I've never been.
longitude, latitude?
Yes,
Come on.
that'd be a good idea.
Well,
Do you have that?
they actually call it Quakertown Park.
Quakertown Park. That's right.
Quakertown.
Quaker
Park.
State's the oatmeal in.
Right.
No, that's the lube for your car.
Well, I think Quaker State used to be an oatmeal too.
They
No,
probably
it's
ate it
Quaker.
for breakfast.
Oh, okay. Well, there's enough for the Quakers, and that's also an organization, a type of people, the Quakers.
Okay, just get to the point.
They were pilgrims, yes.
Yeah. Well, We started in October 2017 out there, and the weekend before that, we just had a bunch of goods to take to them. And Wayne Alshire, myself, and
His wife's got to help him out on that one.
Paul William,
Paul, forget him.
we
He had a cup of coffee.
we sit there.
Only
we,
one.
We sit there and we thought, you know what? Let's just bring some food out here. So Paul had some deer chili, and we took some deer chili out there and took some hot dogs and we cooked it on the grill out there. And there's about 10 homeless dudes. And we said, hey, man, you hungry? Yeah, we're hungry. Well, dude, let's do it. So we cooked on the food. And I said, let's do it every Sunday, you know?
Right.
And they sitting there looking at me. It's like, really? Every Sunday? It's like, yeah, every Sunday.
Like, where's your commitment,
Yeah.
dude?
Yeah. So we did it. So we've been every Sunday. Every once in a while, you know, I might have to take off and go somewhere and on a trip or something. And they'll take off and go somewhere on a trip.
But you do it every Sunday.
But
now.
we do it every Sunday.
And
from
the
3 to
amazing
whatever.
thing is even if you don't have the money to do it, you still take money out of your pocket to feed them. That's what's amazing about it is you guys are donating your own money and your time to take care of the homeless out there in Denton, Texas.
Well, the cool thing is about that is when we first started, yeah, we had to take the money out of our own pocket, and now we still kind of do.
Right.
But now we have other churches that are gathering.
Oh, that's
up.
fantastic.
Good.
And
Nice
we
to hear
have,
that.
and I think we have so close to 7 or 8, maybe 9 churches
Oh, that's great.
involved, and they'll come out there, and that church will host
that Sunday.
that Sunday.
Oh, that's
Wonderful.
great.
I like to hear that.
And so let's do this right now. If you are a church listening, or you go to a church and
Or you
you're
have
listening,
a food bank.
and you would like to be a part of this, you're in the North Texas area, you're in the Denton area, how can they get in touch with you, Danny?
they'll get Wayne Alshire.
Okay.
Does he have a Facebook or?
Yeah, he has a Facebook page.
WANE.
And also, I think he has the email. That's WayneAlshire@thebridge.com.
How do you spell Elshire?
No, Jessica's shaking her head, and it's not up and down. It's this way.
How do we get in touch?
Okay.
Oh, Wayne at Finding the Bridge.
Wayne, that's WAYNE
And is it AT or the at sign?
at
Okay.
Finding the Bridge.
Yeah.
Wayne at Finding the Bridge. Jot that down. Wayne at Finding the Bridge.
.com.
Or they can actually just go to Facebook and search Danny Fain, right? And maybe send you a message.
Oh, they can, or they can send Wayne Alshire. He's our pastor out there. He's the
Okay.
he's the leader of leaders out there.
I
Wayne
put his
is.
name on there. Wayne at Finding the Bridge.
Because I mean, if we were leaders out there, it wouldn't go as far as it went. God
He
is the
knew
leader
better.
of this thing.
Well, of course he is. And that's the whole point, because that gives you the drive and the motivation, the energy, and to keep doing that. Because I know that what is like the average amount of folk that come out that you're feeding?
We feed anywhere from 80 to 100 to 120.
There you go, right there. So every week, an average of 100 folk, men and women, are out there that are hungry. They're wanting, they're needing help, they're needing clothing, they're needing food, but they're out there. I believe you start at 3 p.m., right?
Yeah, we do. We do. We kind of stopped taking clothes
Okay.
did you?
because of people would bring us so much clothes and just leave.
Yeah.
And then we'd figure out what are we going to do with them. If you have any clothes, take them to the Salvation Army,
Okay.
or take them somewhere that actually is going to use them.
Okay. Well, good. Well, we'll do that. Barbara Ann, you get right on that.
I know. I keep collecting clothes, and I'll get right on
I do
that.
find it hilarious how humble you are with helping so many people. I know a ton of people who would get very, very egotistical very quickly with helping more than 100 people sometimes on a weekly basis. I that can get to your head.
Well, and
So-
also can wear you out.
Yeah, and it's
more than the other, because that's a real commitment. I mean, I just know about doing the commitment to the show every
what
Sunday.
about feeding me every day? That seems
And
like a
feeding my
commitment to you.
son
doesn't it?
every day. That is a wear out.
No, but in all honesty, it's very good to see people who have the love in their heart to go help others. I mean, that's something special and something you don't see every day.
Well, God called us to feed, and God called us to love, and God called us to share.
You guys sing out there, don't you? Sometimes you.
We do.
You do?
We play music out there, and we're working on trying to get some live bands, but we're trying to. We play some.
Well,
music
I'm gonna help you with that. Okay. I'm going to see about getting some things out there for you guys. Now I don't know about when you say live band. I don't think y'all have electricity, do you? So it'll have to be a kind of an acoustic show, right?
Yeah, we have Wi-Fi out there.
Yeah, but that ain't where you can plug in an amp.
No, we got battery. We got a speaker that has the batteries, and
Well, we can find someone to donate a generator too.
Yeah, I actually got a generator from work for this weekend because we're doing chili dogs.
I think it'd be a lot easier just to do an acoustic show, and you
My
don't have
father
to
just
worry
says
about it.
I'm too lazy.
We'll both
Acoustic
sounds
show.
great acoustic, so we'll work on that. We'll do whatever you need, Danny. You just
Yeah,
let us know.
we'll get some entertainers out there. I'm going to work on that. I've got some suggestions in mind, and so I will be getting in touch with you after I get in touch with them. And
It's so sweet. My father thinks he's entertaining.
I didn't say me. I said I know entertainers.
Oh, okay, that's more realistic.
Yeah, but you didn't listen to me. I've got people in mind.
Hey, speaking of entertainment, we will not be on next Sunday.
And that's good. I'm glad you brought that up because we will be taking off for probably the first Sunday in 4 years. A long time. And
But
so
why are we taking off? Because
the reason is because it's the weekend of July 4th, but there's a big but in there, and that is the fact that we're going to be doing a live remote this Thursday, July 4th, Independence Day, at the American Legion Post 88 in Lake Dallas. That's Lake Dallas, Texas, and it's with our dearest buddy and friend Greg Garland, and we're going to be out there from 2 to 4 on the stage with our setup doing the live remote for Facebook and for YouTube, and we want you to come out and visit with us. Now it's going to be a big shindig. They have food out there. I think they've got hot dogs and chips and different things for the kids, but for the adults, for $10 they've got ribs, potato, the whole.
But there's a festival going on across the street. Purple Haze, Big Will's Bow, Bram Cox, Maribel.
No, he won't be there. He's absentee.
I might just do a little drive-by of facts
Just
about July
drive-by.
But
4th.
they have a big festival. It's a bounce house. It's going to be kid friendly,
That
so you can
starts
bring the
at-
family.
That starts at 4:00, and then after the festival, there's fireworks, and that's right there at the American Legion, 4 steps across the street, and it's huge.
Yeah.
They have a lot of things going on. So we'll be inside the American Legion. Come out, and I'm telling you, the food is fabulous. If you've ever had anything that Greg Garland has prepared for the American Legion Post 88, you understand and know what I'm talking about. And we will be there from 2 to 4. We'll start our show at 2:00 on live on Facebook.com/Bo Carver Show, and also on YouTube. You can go to YouTube.com and then search Bo Carver Show. And that's this Thursday, July 4th. And I'm super pumped about that.
I'll be ready. I'm all good.
We're going to have an exciting show. We'll have a special guest on. Greg Garland will be on with us. The mayor of Lake Dallas will be there. There'll be special people that'll be coming in and out on our show to talk about some of the things they're doing. Might even get Mark Roy to show up, talk about, or Ashton Jacobs to talk about the Pride and Glory on 27th. So there's a lot of different things that'll be happening on this Thursday, starting at 2:00 on the Bo Carver Show. So that'll be replacing next Sunday, but then we'll be back the next Sunday. So back to Danny. So Danny, what is the vision of going forward with the Bridge and Hope Ministries?
Well, the vision is whatever God has it. We just basically just take one Sunday at a time out there.
Well, and that's the right steps to do. In fact, we should really take every moment step by step in our life. But are you hoping to maybe find a place where you could go more indoors on times where the weather's rough? Or, I mean, what kind of some of those kind of thought processes?
Oh yeah, we would like to find a building that we could have, ministry, worship, different kind of classes, like AAA and stuff like that.
Right. That's what I'm getting at, is like that, something where you could have something maybe even on a daily basis almost.
Well, if we, depends on how much money we could raise or how much the place would be. And
Are the participants wanting things like that? Are they asking for that?
a lot of them, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of them, yeah.
They're asking for it.
Because how cool would it be, you sit there and, yeah, they're homeless. But, when you get to know them,
They're people.
on a personal level,
They're still people.
They're like me and you, except they're in a lot of need.
yeah, they're just like, some people like us. We're paycheck to paycheck.
Oh yeah.
You get laid off, they have nothing else to do. Next thing you know, they're homeless.
You know, there's one out there that every time I see him, he's the older gentleman that carries like the 4 carts. He's always at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Every time I try to give him money, he wants to give me change back. He says, I'm not asking for this. I'm not begging for this. I said, no, but I'm giving it to you. And it's so hard for me to give him money, but I'm forcing it on this guy because that's how humble he is.
Yeah.
And he knows.
I may have to go that route to get money out of her because she doesn't ever give me any.
But when I see him, I'm always donating to him.
I'm going to go to pull his routes because I
Yeah.
get money from Barbara Ann.
But he pulls at my heartstrings because he's not asking. He's not on the corner at the sign. He's legit. It was his choice. There's another gentleman that I got a hotel for who just wanted a shower, but I knew it was going to snow. So we did it for a week. And I called Bo, said, please don't be mad at me. But I know we couldn't afford it, but I did it, and because they're humble. They're not
Right.
asking you, but when you're trying to give to them and they try to shrug it away, they're truly in need.
Well, and it's also like you were just saying, Danny, that there might be a fine line between, living in your home and having your things and then be gone.
Oh,
You
yeah.
never know.
It can be gone in an instant. God's blessed us with so much between, what our personal life and that ministry
Yeah.
that, we have such a group of great people in this ministry that it's unreal. My wife, Jessica, she does the trailer. She maintains all that, and that's stress in itself.
Now, what do you mean by the trailer?
We have a trailer out there, and all the donations that we get through, Jessica goes through all the donations. She goes through and make sure that.
Is that at the park?
Yeah, that's at the park.
What are you guys needing the most? Like toothpaste, toothbrushes, or what do you guys need?
Tents.
Tents?
Okay.
Tents and sleeping bags.
Is there
Okay.
a tent city in Denton?
I don't think there is. No.
I haven't seen one. I've seen them everywhere else, but I don't think I've seen them in Denton.
So now, if someone wants to donate a tent or a
Or
blanket,
sleeping bag.
would it be again, get in touch with Wayne at Finding the Bridge, or get in touch with Jessica?
I posted Danny Fain's information on here for them to find him on
so
Facebook.
they can get in touch with you, and then you can pass.
Do you have a page, Jessica? I saw Jessica Fain on there, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, she does.
It's on
Okay.
Facebook.com, and then search Jessica Fain, and then you can send her a message, I'm sure. And so let's get some tents, and some blankets and some sleeping bags.
Are you the stay-at-home parent? Okay, I'm putting you on Facebook.
and help this organization, because I'm telling you, I love this organization, what they do. I think it's fantastic. And when you start talking about feeding 100 people a week, that's huge.
Yeah.
Now, what have you seen far as some of the ones that have come out of that? Have you had some results of them
We
moving
have.
out? Let's hear a little bit of some success stories there.
Yeah, we had some people. They found a place, and they moved to different states, and they got a job. And we have one guy that actually donates back to us because he was homeless, and we fed
How
him
about that?
at the park. And then he moved to a different state and got a job, and he sends us like $20 or $15.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Whatever. And that's what's so beautiful about what we do out there. Just like, Wayne Alshire, he's a beautiful soul. He really is. Because when he comes out there, he's all upbeat, and he loves them. He kisses on them. Doesn't kiss on them, but you know what I mean? But he just shows love for them. And everybody that we go there, we have such a great time. And I encourage people to come out there and see what we do.
I know Bo and I keep saying we're going to go, and we have not done it yet, but we need to.
Well, you're with my father. You just gotta say, pack your bags, let's go. You can't prerequisite where you're going.
Let me
with it
ask you. Yeah, I promise we're going to get out there.
one day.
Might even be today.
I'm about to say I might just force him to go today.
Yeah,
The grandbaby needs to be humbleized.
Well, now let me ask you another question. A lot of people think that people that are homeless are either all alcoholics or all
drug
on
addicts,
drugs,
and they're not.
So, Danny, what do you think those kind of percentages are with your group?
With the group that we have, the percentages are less. There are not a lot of drunks out there, and there are not a lot of drug users out there. Of course, in the homeless community, you're going to have people that drink.
Well, you're going to have that in the non-homeless community.
Yeah.
In fact,
Hello.
You're going to have people that do drugs. I mean, people do drugs even when they got a job.
Yes,
Oh,
of
yeah.
And
course.
they're working, they got a place and a family. So, we'll sit there and I always hate that cliche that they say
They get a bad rep.
somebody asks for $1. Somebody says, get a job.
Yeah,
Dude.
they would love
You
to have
can't get a
for the
job
most
without
part.
an
Yeah.
address. That's what
Yeah.
people don't realize. You can't get a job if you don't have a permanent address. No permanent address, no job.
That's right. If I was homeless and somebody asked me that, I said, all right, brother, I'll see you in the morning. You're going to come pick me up. We're going to go to your job
Exactly.
and we're going to work.
I like that idea. I like the way you're thinking there. Well, it is a tough thing because I know there's professional people out there that ask for money.
Oh, yeah. You got some scammers
you
out
know, and so people see a lot of the same people on some of the same corners. And
I've seen the guy out there who rings them right there in Denton, and I'm like, so I know not to give to that group because I see their guy right here in the corner, and I know they're staying at Motel 6, and I know it's a circus ring. I'm like, come on, guy, I know
Yeah.
better. I see you
Yeah.
every day.
but not everybody sees people like that.
The
every day.
problem is that's just you see one of those rings or one of those people, and you're wrong to assume that that's a majority.
Well, when she has an ankle bracelet on her wrist, on her ankle, and she has a I'm a homeless sign, and she has a home monitor on, she's not homeless. She's
Right.
trying to
But
scan.
the-
It's
Yeah, she's
awful.
supposed to be in prison.
The
That's where her home's supposed to be, I guess.
the point being is it's wrong to assume that
All homeless people are
all
like
homeless
that.
people are trying to take advantage of you, because most homeless people have been taken advantage of.
But most of
That's
them
right.
won't ask you for anything because they don't. They're too proudful. And that's why they're homeless, because they didn't ask for help in the first place. And a lot of them are veterans. When we were in Arizona, a nursing home closed. Families didn't come get their elderly. So what happened to those elderly? They were thrown on the street.
Yeah.
They became homeless because of their past, or their family didn't come get them. And it wasn't by choice. The nursing home closed down. They took all their Medicare money. And so they're I'm going to use this word, they got screwed.
Yeah, that's what's sad about the whole thing.
It is. So not everybody is homeless by choice.
Well, what we're doing today, and thank you, Danny, for being on the show. What we're doing today is try to bring awareness to any of the places that you might be living. Now, we're here in the North Texas area, and Danny is in Denton, which is North Texas, and that's where their organization is to feed these homeless every Sunday. But they're everywhere. I mean, whatever area you're in, whether it's New York, Pittsburgh, Florida, tons of places in Texas.
California's the worst.
Everywhere. They're all over the place. Hopefully that there'll be some organizations in all those places that will be reaching out to the homeless, because they are us.
Right. They are us.
They are us. They are part of us. And let's try to change our attitude a little bit towards them, from a standpoint, if you have a bad attitude towards them, if you think, well, I'm not giving that sucker a dime because he needs to get a job, or he's probably an alcoholic, or he's a drug addict, offer it. Usually I think maybe the ones that are asking probably are the ones are probably, I'm not, don't put this all in one big package here, but I'm thinking some of the ones that are asking probably may not be the ones, but the ones that you see and are not asking, I promise you, they're the ones that are in the most need.
See, the problem is people make all these assumptions about homeless people, but homeless, as the name states, is just without permanent residence. So you take away someone takes away your house, you lose your job and you lose your home.
You still have dignity.
Obviously,
you're
homeless
person.
now, and that doesn't make you any less of a human being, or any more likely to be a drug addict, or to be an alcoholic, or to be manipulative.
You're just on hard times when you need to get them out
in
of
a
it.
hard
Yes.
area of your life. And to judge someone for that, someone that they lost everything because of a lack of control of their life, and obviously they didn't choose to lose their home. No one really would.
Well, speaking
you
of
judge
home-
them for that. That's terrible.
Speaking of homeless, wasn't Marvin homeless? We need to get on his subject real quick.
Well, and that's the whole thing. And I want to say too, real quick before we get into Marvin, is Danny's right. I think a lot of us really probably don't know how close we are to be homeless.
You'd be surprised.
I mean, like he said, living to paycheck to paycheck.
That's right.
And it doesn't matter if you're living in a $300,000 home or a $100,000 home. I think most of us know what I'm talking about. I think you know what I'm just saying, what Danny said, that you may be a paycheck away or a injury away from being out there on Sundays with them.
That's right. And also, if you feel like you don't want to give anybody money, then don't. It's simple. Just take them to dinner.
There you go.
Take them to lunch. Just say, hey, would you like to go have lunch with me? And sit there instead of rolling your window up because you don't know anything about that person. They could be on the street one day. They could have lost their house yesterday or in their family yesterday. Just take them to lunch. Talk to them a little bit. And maybe, who knows, maybe that it was your path to go talk to this person.
God took you to him.
That's right. God took you to this person to talk to him.
But the sad part is I've seen people giving blankets. I've seen people giving food. And then when the people leave the corner, the food and the blankets are left there. So those were not the true homeless.
Well, let me tell you a quick story real quick.
Go ahead.
My wife bought me a few years ago. She bought me some nice overalls, thick ones, because, during my day job, I work in the rental business.
Right.
And I drive. And, man, those things were super warm. I was in Dallas. And this guy was sitting on the corner. He looked cold. And I had him on the passenger side of my truck. I looked at him, and I looked at those, and I said, well, I know when I get home, she's going to be really upset with me. But I rolled down the window. I said, brother, I said, here you go, man. Enjoy. Then I went home, and I told my wife, she's like, really? You just bought those? I said, yeah, babe.
You better go buy another pair.
Somebody else needed them,
Well, and the whole thing about it is that if you have any belief of this, it's more blessed to give and to receive.
That's right.
And that's the whole point, is giving. And I believe the more you give, the more you can get to give. That's my opinion. I believe that's,
comes back to you.
I believe that's kind of the whole thing of it, is that if you're a giving person, there's going to be more things given to you so you can give.
Oh, you're getting a bunch of likes on that one.
So I want you to think about that and be a giver. And it's sometimes,
even if you find out you gave to the wrong person, it doesn't matter. You still
that's
gave.
a good point. And I'm glad you brought that up, because that's out of your hands.
Right.
When you give, whether you give, unless you give knowing that person is doing it for something, unless you know that. But if you don't know that and you give to an individual and you give out of your heart, then you've now been honored as a giver.
Blessed, yeah.
Doesn't matter what that person then does with it. That's on them. And what we spend on things, I mean, I go into a convenience store and $5, $6, $7 out of there with a chip and a Coke. I mean, handing somebody $5 here, there, or yonder is not going to hurt me in the least. I promise you. And I don't have the kind of money to be getting anything.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It that a dollar here, dollar there? You're not going to miss it.
Hey.
You're not going to miss those dollars here and there. So give with your heart. Give in a great way as a way to help somebody to move on in their life, and you just do not know how that's going to affect their life in the long run. And let's continue to do that. And before we leave,
I got to say something. Logan Roach says, "What's up, Marvin? Making it big time."
Hey, well, Marvin is made the big time, and Marvin sometimes goes out to the Quakertown Park, right, on Sundays.
Yeah, he last November we had a sleep out, which this November we're also having another sleep out.
That'll be great
at Quakertown Park. But he was there, and a lot of the ladies and guys that he was on a table, and they walked by and was like,
a little nervous.
He's homeless.
They said, "Danny, what's going on?" I said, "No, hello, man. What's up?" He goes, "Danny, do you see a draft on that table?" I said, "No, dude. What are you talking about, bro? I don't see anything, man.
I see pink elephants.
All those, it's just hot dogs on here, man. He goes, Danny, there's a giraffe on the table. I said, dude, what are you talking about, bro? Finally, after a couple of times, I said, yeah, dude, there's a giraffe on the table. His name is Marvin, man. Go talk to him. Shake his hand, man. So it was good times. I mean,
Well, Marvin, you got to go to facebook.com and then search Marvin. That's MARVIN. And there's videos about Marvin there. And
He was homeless at one time, and
he was
saved.
homeless. He was
and
saved out of
rehabbed.
a dumpster, correct?
yeah, I gave him out of a dumpster. I had to go do a delivery at the mall in Grapevine, and his feet was sticking out. And I heard, "Hey, man," I said, "What's up?" And it was Marvin. So I got him. A couple of construction workers sitting there staring at me as I'm getting the trash. So I got him out. I put him in there, and the mechanic did his nose out of a 2x4. His nose was broke off. That's why
Aw.
Burlington Coat Factory threw him in the dumpsters, because his nose was broke off.
Yeah, see,
Aw,
that's
poor
terrible.
Marvin.
Yeah, so that's a 2x4 carved down, and now he has a mouth and all kinds of stuff. And he has
Marvin's got a great personality. If you go to facebook.com and then search Marvin, hit that like page.
He
And you'll
photobombed our limo drive when
Yeah,
we did Big Hat
he was-
limos. He
he
was
was-
photobombing. We took him with us to the Gala Ball, and he had a great time with it. So, I mean, Marvin gets around.
Marvin is great, and Danny Fain, you're great. Your organization, Bridge and Hope Ministries, is great,
that's God's organization,
and
man.
that's God's organization. But I mean, you're part of that organization, and
I want to say thanks to Maria Haynes. She's posted on here about PHM. That's what you guys are, right? She's talking about the organization you guys do, and she says that if you don't have a church, to please belong to the group. We welcome you too. So good look at our Facebook. People are posting on it. We want to thank you, Danny, for that.
This show is archived, so you can share this with folk and get them where they can see the kind of things that's going on. And also on YouTube, you can go to youtube.com and then search Bo Carver Show, and all of our shows are archived there. Danny, thanks so much. Jessica, thank you for being on the show today. Well, you're not on it, but you're here with us. And I'm glad you were here because Danny needed direction on a couple times. So
I saw Marvin kicking him a couple times. I don't
Yeah.
know if y'all saw him move, but he's been there telling Danny, nope, not this, not this.
Marvin, did you have a good time?
Yeah, that's what he does. It was
He
funny.
likes 80s music too. So
Yeah.
It was funny when I was in Addison last night. I was sitting there, and of course, I was going to do a little deal in the back with Marvin, like a little video that
Right.
I would do. But luckily, one of the guys I used to work with, Kendrick, he's going to Ken 430, he's a rapper,
Okay.
and I had one of the CDs in my in the limousine. So I thought, you know what? I mean, every time that I do my Marvin video or do my own video, it doesn't take a thought process. It's like boom,
And go.
record,
Right.
because I don't think about nothing. I just do it. If you think about it,
I've noticed
It's not
that on
gonna
a
be
few of them.
yeah. when you think about it, it's not going to be all that great. So when I had the CD of Ken 430s, and then I had Marvin, I thought, you know what, that'd be great. It'd be great to get him out, get Marvin out, get just somebody out in the insane asylum.
Well, there you go.
So then that's what we had. I mean, and the cool thing is, a lot of people like Marvin because
he's a quiet type.
he's
He's a partier, though.
he is a partier, and some people tell me, Danny, when you do these videos, if I had a bad day, I see them and I
That's true.
smile.
No, they're great. I promise you.
We laugh every time.
Yeah, Marvin is going to be a star. I think
Already is.
In my mind, he already is.
Oh yeah.
So you need to go to facebook.com and just search Marvin and click on there, and it'll be a round little orange circle that has an M in it, and you're in the right spot. And watch some of those videos of Marvin.
He's from Ponder, Texas.
He's
he does. It's right here. I actually have it right there on our Facebook.
it popped up,
It did, Marvin.
but it did.
It was an M and a red. It was M and red.
Okay,
So
that's
thank
it.
you for tuning in
That's it.
today, because no one wants to do an outro, do you? You
No,
are.
Well, we're
we don't
having
want to
fun,
go. Everyone
okay?
on Facebook is Dorothy Noon says Marvin's
See,
adorable.
the problem with this is
That neighbor's
Marvin
is from
deserves
Ponder.
more than an episode for himself, let alone the great things that you do for the homeless and
Well,
feeding
Marvin's
the
there
hungry.
too.
I mean,
He helps too.
It's just it's a lot packed into one show, and my father, even in his alone time, can't stop talking about Marvin, his secret lover. It's a problem.
It's his male crush.
Well,
That's
I'm
okay.
gonna get some shirts made up that says Marvin for president.
I might actually buy that.
I'm gonna buy American flag's gonna be on the back of my wife. She's a
like
shirt
it.
designer and also
Oh,
a
cool.
designer. So she's gonna design that for me.
Is she
If
gonna
she
make one
can-
for Marvin? Can you
Yes.
make one that small?
Well, I'm gonna.
You'll figure it out.
We're gonna try.
You know what'd be cool for Marvin is he needs one of those, those kind of knit type, Jamaican type hats. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about? You
With
know,
the dreads.
yeah, with the little dreads. That's what Marvin needs. Start playing some of that Jamaican music, man.
Well, you know,
Don't worry.
they
Be
made
happy.
There you go, right there.
they made Marvin. They made him out of in Jamaica. I mean, in Africa.
Oh wow.
I didn't know that. When I was on a job site, there was a construction worker from Africa, and he looked at it. And he says, "Hey, man, did you get that in Africa?" I said, "No, just up the road in Burlington Coat Factory in the dumpster."
Close to Africa.
And he goes,
Jesus, Father, watch yourself, please.
And he
Oh my
goes-
God.
and he goes,
OMG.
he goes, no, they make these in Africa, and they ship them over to the U.S.
Does it have Made in Africa stamped on it?
I don't know. And they said that these go for in Burlington Coat Factory, they go for $80 a piece.
Wow.
Wow.
$80.
Well, Marvin's a special though. He is a special
rides the
talent.
short
Marvin looks
bus.
like $1
And,
million, so it's okay.
Those you can see those talents if you go to facebook.com and then search Marvin and watch some of his videos. You will then too know what I'm talking about.
Facebook is already wanting to buy shirts, so when you
Yes.
get them, let us know.
There
We'll
you
post
go.
it. Okay.
We will sell
All
you
right.
some t-shirts right
Yeah.
there for Marvin. And we appreciate each and every one of you for joining us today. We're here mostly every Sunday. We won't be here next Sunday, but we're here every Sunday except for next Sunday.
We'll be here the 4th of July for Independence Day.
4th of July, though, we'll be on,
Yes,
but we
yes.
will be doing a live remote at the American Legion Post
Yes.
88 in Lake Dallas, Texas. And you should come out. We'll be broadcasting at 2 p.m. that day, that afternoon. There's going to be a great event. The food is fabulous. It's only $10 a plate for an adult with a ton of ribs and baked potato and all the fixings that go with everything there. Then there's a dunking booth. There's a jump.
Oh, are you going to get in the Dunkin' booth?
No.
Why not?
Then there's a
You need to.
jump. What do you call it? Jump
Bounce house for
Bounce
the
house.
kids.
Thank you for the kids. And then across the street, there's a big festival going on with all kinds of things happening there. And that night is full blown fireworks. So come out and join us and be with us at 2 p.m. at the American Legion Post 88 in Lake Dallas this Thursday, July 4th. We want you to have a safe and blessed Sunday.
Come out and hug a veteran July 4th.
There
There's
you go.
plenty to
There'll be
hug.
plenty of
Hey,
them. I'll tell you.
Robin, glad you're on.
There'll be plenty of veterans there, and anybody that is a veteran, come out. And even if you're still in the military, come out. And we will have a great time out there with the American Legion Post 88 and our commander, Greg Garland. He'll be on the show with us. So it's going to be a fantastic time. If you're anywhere in the North Dallas area, North Texas area, it's an easy drive up to Lake Dallas.
You can also go out to Quakertown Park today at 3 o'clock. Come meet Danny and Marvin.
Quakertown Park,
Denton,
3
Texas,
p.m. at
today.
Right. And help and share the word, your positive words, and bring some things for them, blankets or a tent. And thank you, Danny, for being on the show. Thank you, Graham Knoxmere, Bo Carver, for your presence
Always.
and co-hosting. Barbary Ann Purple Haze.
Love y'all.
Thank you again, as always.
Thank you, Marvin.
We will see you Thursday, July 4th at 2 p.m. here on the Bo Carver Show with the Wheels of Justice. Thank you.
Done.
Oh, very fun.
Did you do it on my face?